What is up, and welcome to the Underground. It is Ned, joined by the Shadow King, very much living up to his name, Lex the Hex Master. Lex, what's happening, man?
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? How you doing, man? Shout out to the homies down under, man.
Oh, man, big props to you for joining me, man. What's all the go in the world of Lex the Hex Master? You've just dropped the fourth and final edition of the EP series, the Cathedral of Chaos.
Yes.
Can you talk about uh, going for a EP series rather than a full length, Lex? What made you decide to do this?
Well, I mean, people make EPs all the time. People make albums all the time. And I figured that to create something that has a continuation would be more interesting and keep people following along, kind of like breadcrumbs. You know, and uh, people these days with so much music coming out and so many different artists and so many different sounds developing these days, it's hard sometimes to keep people engaged and keep people interested. And that's why I decided to make a four-part EP series as opposed to just throwing out a whole bunch of random shit. That was just like, oh yeah, I got that one, I got that one. But when you got part one, people like, oh, I got part one. You got part two. People's like, oh shit, I got part two. Then you got part four that comes out. People's like, oh shit, I didn't get part three, so you got to go back and get that one. Or they got part two and don't got part one. You know what I'm saying? It makes people want to keep on going and keep on constantly engaging with the product. You know?
Yeah, very much so. I hear what you're saying there, man. So Party Castle sort of was released in mid 2020, and the latest one, Cathedral of Chaos, just came out. There was nothing in 2022. Why was the wait there, Lex?
2022 was more of a business experience and personal life experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had definitely some things that I had to attend to. People don't realize that as artists, yeah, we give ourselves to the world as artists, but we do still have personal lives and we do still have families and all these things and health that we have to attend to. Sometimes it's healthy for our artists to step away from the world and give more attention to his personal life and give more attention to his real life and come out of the Hollywood world, so to say, and deal with reality because it's easy to get those lines blurred, and you don't know what's reality and what's not reality, and you start to come up and you wake up confused. So there's always going to be times where it's not the last time. There's always going to be times where you see me step away for a second, do what I got to do, work on what I got to work on, then I'll come back to the music. The music is going to be there, and I'm glad that we're taking so much time off. People are still receiving the record so well. We're still taking to it, so fantastically. That's what I'm more amazed at.
yeah, it's very much a case of good things come to those who wait, Lex. And I wanted to talk a little about where I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Australia. You grew up in New York City, right? So
Yeah.
we've very much couldn't be two worlds apart. Can you tell me about growing up in New York and how you discovered, the music scene and what made you decide to take that path?
Wow, I mean, growing up in a place like New York City is like New Orleans. You can't escape music. It's everywhere. Every car you go up, every car, summertime bumping new shit, bumping a new artist, bumping a new songs. And even if you're not into the music, hip hop music particularly, even if you're not into the music, people don't realize that they may not be influenced by the music, but they're definitely influenced by the culture, through clothing, through television, slang, all of those different things like that are definitely affecting you. And New York City being like one at the time being the core of all that. Like at one time, no disrespect to no other regions, no other countries, no other parts of the country, but New York City was leading the trend in hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
everybody, New York would do it, and then everybody would follow behind it. So it was almost inescapable. What interests me about rap music or music in general, I always loved music. I always loved music, but couldn't sing, I couldn't dance, um, and then rapping. It was just something that I used to do to fuck around. I used to I used to see all the rappers. I used to have all the girls and shit, and used to look fly, and everybody used to like them. And that's what attracted me to it. And it actually turned to be something that I was good at. And after a while, it became more than that. And this is what I'm at now. This is the only thing I've been good at in my life. I got 1,000 things I've been good at, but it's the only thing I've been recognized for, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, there's more than just rap that you're good at, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I was going to touch on the New York City side of things while we're talking about it. Just changing things up off the music side of things. I said I grew up believing that I was a teenage mutant ninja turtle, like a ninja turtle, Lex.
Yeah.
It was filmed there in New York. So,
Yes.
based in
Yes.
New York, I was going to say, did you grow up thinking the same thing?
Oh yeah, no, we love Ninja Turtles. My favorite one was Raphael was my favorite one, the red one. Yeah, he was always the shit to me, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, I always like Master Shredder, especially in the cartoon. I used to like Master Shredder a lot. Um, a lot of people don't realize, you know, fun fact about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. You ever watch the cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, of course.
Fun fact: a lot of people don't realize about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Master Shredder's voice is actually Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Did you know that?
I did know that. That is a crazy fun fact right there, isn't it?
Yeah, hell yeah. A lot of people don't realize, but no, we definitely love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. Manhattan. Um, Unfortunately, though, I'm gonna say unfortunately, we didn't have a clan of ninjas trying to take over New York City and a guy named Master Shredder. We didn't have Mutant Ninja Turtles running around, which would have been incredibly dope. You know, for me at that age, that would have been incredibly fucking, you know what I'm saying? Amazing. But yeah, no, all of those things, man. Yeah, it's so many films that's filmed here in New York City, man, and some of them filmed like Gotham is with the newest Gotham that just came out. That show is filmed in my neighborhood. Almost damn near every episode is filmed in my neighborhood. We see it a lot, you know. Um, so yeah, as far as film industry is concerned, Cosby Show was filmed here. So many big movies, big shows were filmed here, and people don't realize it. Big studios and stuff. I live not too far from Silver Cup Studios. Um, some of the biggest rappers. I live not too far from some of the biggest rappers like Nas, like Mobb Deep. You know, these are guys that you'll see riding doing their nice cars and shit like that. You know, so it was definitely an influence between New York City, the music, and the whole culture of things. You know, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just thought I'd ask you that, man, on the subject of it all. And you're running with the Shadow Army right there, Lex, and also signed to M&E. I wanted to ask, man, what is the sort of the future of you with Shadow Army and that side of things?
Well, I mean, Shadow Army's becoming an empire, man. You know, we're taking over things little by little, using our resources and I would say assimilating other crews, you know what I'm saying, other entities, and to absorb their resources to make it more stronger. The future is just looking bright. That's all I can say. It's looking
Yeah.
strong, and you know, at this point, if it's not really Shadow Army involved, it's not really much of my concern. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do hear what you're saying, man. And this weekend, I believe that you can pick up those Shadow Army jackets. How can we get our hands on those varsity jackets, Lex?
But you can hit me up directly for those varsity jackets and those hoodies. You know what I'm saying? We're doing free shipping. You know, pretty much around the world. Around the
Wow.
world. The t-shirts also, yeah. We sell it, man. You know, they sell out so fast, and that's not even something that I can brag about. When we first put them out and they sold out really fast, I was really surprised about it, and I was really honored that people were that interested in it. You know, and the hoodies as well. I'm really honored that people are really that interested in it. And I'm glad because when you put out stuff, it's a risk. You never know how people are going to react to it. And for them to react positively, I'm really appreciative that people reacted so positively. And I thank everybody out there who supports and continues to support. Shout out to Loyalty is Law as well. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do our manufacturing. My man Swim was around. You know what I mean? He's definitely in the warehouse busting his ass because we do it shit by hand. You know, we don't have no manufacturing company. Everything goes straight through us, comes straight from us. So everybody who's supporting us directly. You know what I mean? From your mouth to God's hands. You know what I'm saying? To God's ears. You know, so that's how we back it.
I love that right there. So yeah, if you want to get your hands on one of these, just hit up Lex directly on his Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, at Lex the Hex Master. Now, Lex, you were talking about rapping being the best thing that you sort of did growing up. But I hear, and many of your fans know, that you're a big time cook as well. And you sort of hinted at making a Lex the Hex Master cooking YouTube channel. What's the latest on that, man?
Oh yeah, well we got the cooker. I definitely got the cooking show going. You know, I got a concept for it. We're gonna make every meal that I make because since this world is the world that we living in right now, every meal that we make on this cooking show is gonna be at least $25 and less. That's how we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Good shit, good great shit. Cooking for a family for less than $25 if it's possible, and you can still eat good shit without spending $500 on a steak. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm in the works for right now, working on my cookbook right now. Not that I'm releasing a cookbook, but just so I can have a continuation of things. I don't want to put out an episode and then 6 months later another episode and 4 months later another episode. I want to drop consecutively. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just making them recipes that's gonna fuck y'all head up, So when it's time for y'all to get it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, this is that shit that I needed right here. And I was broke, but I'm still eating good. You know what I'm saying? That's what people gonna be saying. You know, when people think good, when people think eating good, they think about eating at expensive restaurants. And me, I'm a person, I don't like eating at expensive restaurants. For one, you go there, you spend all this money, you get fucking a spoonful of this and a fucking slice of that, and you come out of there, you still hungry than a bitch. You know what I mean? When you can go home and you can cook for your motherfucking self and you can feed yourself and your whole fucking family, you know what I'm saying? And still have some money for a blunt or something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do for you. You know what I mean?
Man, I love that right there. So you're saying that it's going to be sort of meals that you can make for $25 or less, and that's
Yes.
how you make. Yeah, I really like that there, man. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Well, what's your specialty then, Lex? Like, what's your go-to meal if you had to cook one meal to sort of show off to people? What would it be?
I mean, I don't want to be cliched. I mean, I like making steak a lot. You know,
Mm.
I just figured out the perfect fried wings recipe, the perfect one, the perfect secret ingredient that I've been trying to find for years that is absolutely perfect. The fried wings is definitely good. Seafood, fuck yeah, who doesn't love fucking seafood? You know, and seafood again, seafood does not have to be expensive. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know how to cook it and how to stretch it. You know what I mean? When you grow up in New York City, I didn't grow up in the richest neighborhood in New York City. You know, I didn't grow up in the richest family in New York City. So there were things that when we did eat good things, we had to learn how to make it stretch and make it last and make it and be able to spread it around. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm just gonna teach the people because if anything now, if there's any ever a time where people need to stretch things and spread things around, it's now. You know what I'm saying? If there's any time that people need to share things with each other and help each other out, I want to be able to have if a man comes to my door hungry and needs something to eat, I need to be able to help him. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I come to a man's door and I need something to eat, I would hope that man is able to help me. And this is what the show is all about: eating good without spending a shit ton of money on bullshit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely love it right there, Lex. And in the world we're living in at the moment, with the price of living just going up and up, I think that's
Yes.
a fantastic thing. And hats off to you for doing that, Lex. So when can we expect to see this series?
I'm looking at like at least within the next 2 months. Next
Oh,
2 months, next 4 to 6 weeks, I would say. Yeah.
awesome, man. Cannot
Very
wait to
soon.
Cannot wait to check that one out. Now, recently on your social media, you were asking your fans, Lex, who would they like to see you collaborate with? I wanted to know, who would you ultimately like to work with?
Um, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists I think that they big time that feel that I feel needs to work with me because I would probably compliment their shit more. But I don't know. Probably New York City rappers, man. A couple New York City rappers, man. Rockless Monster, I would love to work with him.
Yep.
From Helter Skelter. You know what I'm saying? Um, I would love to do another track with Billy Dan. Well, MOP, let's say MOP. I did a song with Billy Dance, but I would love to do a song with Billy Dance and Lil Bang. Trying to work on something with Whitney, so that Whitney Payton, shout out to Whitney Payton, but she's so goddamn busy because she's a machine. She's out there killing it all the time.
Yeah,
You know
she
what I'm
is.
saying? I don't know when she gets any time to sleep. She's just killing it. Yeah, definitely with dope. I mean, that's it. I mean, because honestly, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I don't be listening to a lot of these people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was asking the fans. That's literally why I was asking the fans. I want to know who's actually out there doing anything. Because I don't be listening to a lot of these people, man. I don't be having no time for that shit.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you did go about it in that way. You asked the fans rather than you yourself. I understand that you're a busy dude, and like this on this latest album, the Danny Diablo collabo, that really sung out for me, man. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh yeah, shout out to Danny Diablo, shout out to Jake Palumbo, shout out to Metapoli, you know what I'm saying, for jumping on that joint. But Danny Diablo, me and Danny Diablo actually go back. That's actually my man. You know what I'm saying, like in real life, that's actually a friend of mine. Like that's a guy that sometimes we'll call each other and talk on the phone type shit. You know what I mean, you get a lot of people, you get a lot of people in the music industry, just like industry people, and you get people that you actually can say like, oh, this is a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? So Danny Diablo is a guy that I would consider my friend. So when I hit him up to jump on it, it was nothing. You know, like he was like, yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you. He's another busy guy, but he's like, I got you, I got you, I got you. He's a super energetic fucking hype dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He's always on 1,000 and shit. You know what I mean? So he's like, got you, Lex, got you, I got you. Just give me some time, I got you. So yeah, that came together real dope. You know what I mean? That came together real dope.
Oh man, yeah, it most definitely did, and I've got to give you props, Lex, on your social media, man. It's like the perfect mix between laughs and music. And if you haven't caught Lex the Hex Master on social media, hit him up at Lex the Hex Master. You're a funny guy, Lex. Where do you find some of that content? Is it just all scrolling, or what's the go there?
I mean, some of it is scrolling. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of silly ass friends. You know what I'm saying? That send me shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, when you hang out with people with a sense of humor, man, it complements your sense of humor too. You know,
yeah.
just shout out to Kid Savage. You know what I'm saying? My guy, he's coming up next. He got a new song called "Down the Prince" coming out. Watch for that. But yeah, we always sending each other stuff, and all of me and the homies are sending each other stuff, or just sometimes scrolling, and I'm like, yeah, this is some silly shit. I don't post anything that I don't find funny. You know what I'm saying? Like if I find it offensive, 9 times out of 10, other people's gonna find it offensive as well. You know what I mean? The difference between funny and offensive. You know what I mean? So I try to keep people laughing and shit, keep people interested. And laughs are good, man. You know, it takes less muscles to in your face to laugh than it does to frown. You know what I'm saying? So keep
Yeah,
everybody smiling, keep everybody happy. You know?
it most definitely does. I highly recommend people check out Lex's social media because
Thank you, man. I appreciate that plug.
it is very, very on point. Like you got your music stuff in there, but the some of the stuff you post on there is all sorts of awesome. Now, man, I caught you at Fright Fest last year. I didn't get a chance to catch up with you in person, which was unfortunate. But I know you've headed to the UK. I was wondering, is there any chance we might get to see Lex the Hex Master out in Australia at any point in time? I know I've asked you this before, but you know the question has to go out there.
I mean, I would love to go to Australia, man. I haven't gotten many inquiries. I guess Australia just don't like me. I don't know, but I haven't got that much interest from Australia, man. You know, I would love to though, man. The only thing that freaks me out about Australia is the flight. You know what I'm saying? I smoke cigarettes and shit, so that flight will be fucking. I'll be scratching my fucking skin off on that like 20-hour flight and shit. But I think it'd be amazing to go down to fucking Australia, man. That would be life changing for me. That's a whole different hemisphere, you know. So if there's any interest, you know, I would definitely love to come to Australia, bring some stuff to bring some movies, bring some merch, you know what I'm saying, tear shit down, you know, have some fun, eat some food, definitely try out some food so I can come back and make some more recipes for $25 or less, of course, you know, and just do the thing, man. Australia would be amazing, bro. So, yeah, all you Australian ninjas out there who fuck with the Shadow King, who fucks with the Shadow Army, stop bullshitting, man. Get off your ass, get me down there, and I would be glad to come down there and fucking kick some fucking shit for y'all. Word.
Man, just thinking of the possibilities now talking to you, Lex. Like you said, we could get that $25 or less cooking show happening on location. We could get you
Yes.
trying out some of our Australian food out here. Man,
Yes.
that's something that does have to happen in the future. Now, switching things up, Lex, I wanted to know, like in your spare time, have you caught anything recently on TV, on Netflix, or anything like that that you might recommend people to check out?
The Man in the High Castle. Definitely a show that people need to watch. It's
What,
not new. It's not new. It's new to me. New as shit to me. The Man in the High Castle. It's a show uh, based on World War II. However, in this scenario, the Nazis and the Japanese win the war, and now they're occupying America. And that whole scenario and how everything will be going down. The shit is crazy. The shit is bugged. I highly recommend The Man in the Castle. There's a lot of spy shit and treason and double crossing and James Bond shit going on. I like complicated shit. Either that or I like either war shit or I like sci-fi shit. You know? So that's my kind of shit that I've been into. Maria's a good show too. That's a sci-fi show. Definitely dope.
There you go. You're a big. I was going to ask also, Lex. Are you a big conspiracy theorist type guy?
Man, I don't be with that bullshit, man. I mean, I think that there's definitely shit going on that we don't know about, but also those things that we know about are definitely beyond our control.
That's true. Very,
You
very
know,
true.
and what's weird is where a lot of things like flat Earth and all of this shit like that. None of these things directly affect us. If today scientists was to come out and say, "Hey, Lex, the Earth is actually flat," I'll be saying, okay, well, what's gonna be different from fucking yesterday? You know, who really gives a shit? Are we gonna fucking float away or what? Is my dick gonna get smaller? I don't know. It's not gonna fucking directly affect me at all. So fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Not that there's not some things that we have to pay attention to, but there's just some really fucking stupid ones. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a little bit stupid. I just heard one, and I'm not gonna say anything about it because it's gonna cause trouble with the jungle. But it's like, oh man, sacrifices and shit. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm not getting blood bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just don't sacrifice me. I'll sacrifice myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but yeah, no, definitely, man. I just thought I'd get your intake because the last thing I saw was that flight MH370 disappearance and all that sort of stuff, which spun me out. But
What is that?
did you see the thing about have you seen the documentary about the missing airplane, Malaysian MH370? You know, it was about 10 years ago. It just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh, that's not the one that crashes the mountain? No?
No, man. It just disappeared. They don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I mean, shit like that. I mean, I definitely believe in UFOs and shit like that, and fucking, you know what I'm saying, parallel dimensions and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
those, believe it or not, those are more tangible than some of the dumb shit that you hear on a daily basis. You know,
Yeah.
those things that we just, I feel like it's a science that we just don't understand yet. You know, stuff like magic and manifestation, using our minds to manifest things. There's definitely, I mean, if you was to go back to the 1940s and show a man a smartphone, they would think it's some kind of magical fucking bullshit. If you go back 5,000 years and show a man a fucking television, he'd probably think that you stole his soul and put it in this box. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
science that we don't really understand yet. So when you come to things like parallel universes or even ghosts and things like that, I think it's just a science that we just don't quite understand yet. You know, when my mother was born, there was no such thing as a PC. You know, now we carry PCs around in our pocket.
So true.
So imagine what's going to happen in the next 50 or 60 years, the kind of shit that we're going to be walking around doing, and the kind of information that will go around having, you know?
Definitely do, man. Gee, this has been a fun catch up with you, Lex. I agree with you 100%. Let's wrap this thing up with music wise. You've just wrapped up your EP series, as we talked about. Anyone checking this out in Australia, magicninjaaustralia.com, hit us up to pick up those EPs. But man, what is up next for you music wise? Have you sorted it out yet, or is it just a bit of a time in lieu sort of thing? Are you just waiting for the next thing, or is it solid planned out?
Well, I got a project that's already nearly wrapped up with me and my man Jake Colombo. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? That we already got the single for. It's called Amen. Go check out Amen. Um, and that album is going to be incredibly dope. It's coming out this year. As of now, that's what I'm working on. As of now, that's the next thing that you're going to hear from Lex. It's going to be dope. I'm actually working on an underground mixtape that I'm going to be hosting, and I'm going to be featuring some underground dope artists. You know what I'm saying? Just to help guys get out there and get their name out. Because if there's anything that anybody that knows that Lex is about, it's getting new names out there and getting fresh blood out there and getting fresh
yeah,
sounds out there. Because that's the only way the culture is going to survive. If we keep on getting new names and keep on getting new ideas out there, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
we just got to keep on going, keep on doing it, keep on pushing. But as of right now, what you should hear right after this should be the record coming out that me and Jake Palumbo have been working on for nearly 2 years already, and it's pretty much done.
Oh, that is awesome news right there. Well, I very much appreciate you taking time out, Lex. You are a very busy man. Lex the Hex Master's latest EP is Cathedral of Chaos, and it is out right now. Pick it up at mnestore.com. We've got limited numbers coming to Magic Ninja Australia. Lex, thank you so much for taking time out. Really appreciate it, man.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. Shout out to all of the homies down under. Shout out to all of the homies over here in the States, all around the world. Everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's been showing love. I deeply appreciate you guys. You've all been a blessing on my life, and thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Lex. That was a whole bunch of fun, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, you have a good what time is it there?
Oh, it's only like 9:30. It's 9:37 a.m. Sunday morning.
Shit, it's 7:37 p.m.
Yeah,
Saturday
no,
night.
yeah, I really appreciate you doing it at this time, man.
So
Hey,
you're so you're in the future, huh?
yeah, I'm in the future, man. It's Sunday here. I
Shit,
got up
they
with the
say
kids.
time travel's not. You see this shit? They say time travel's not real. You know what I'm saying? That
Man,
shit
that's
is crazy, bro. Make
it
sure you
is.
text me the lottery numbers for today, man. You know what I'm saying? For tomorrow and shit, so I can play the lottery. I can win them bitches. You know what I'm saying? I split the money with you too, bro. Trust me, I got you.
Thank you. Hey, Lex,
But what?
before you go,
I'm sorry.
man, I was just gonna say before you go, would you better do like a little shout out, sort of just like, hey, this is Lex the Hex Master. Check out my interview on the Underground, and I'll I'll do a little
The,
reel
the
of it.
Underground Australia, right?
Yeah.
The Underground Australia. Okay.
Thanks.
Ready? Whenever you are.
Yep. It's recording. Yep.
Yo, 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 this is the Shadow King, Lex the Hex Master, representing the Shadow Army, MNE. Yo, tune into my interview, Underground Australia, we killing it, NYC to Down Under, worldwide. Peace and love.